Check one. Check one. Check, check, check. What's up, Rational Wrong Think? Check, how are you, man? What's up, Rational Wrong Think? How are you, man? Okay, I gotta mute that. Okay. No, can't hear you or the guitar, bro. Okay. What is up, YouTube world? I am just thought I would jump on here and do, just talk about some stuff tonight. And, oh, shoot. I'm just going to shoot from the cuff. I don't have any real articles prepared, but maybe we'll get into some. Just wanted to see what was going on, and I'm glad you're in here, Rash. It's good to have you on, man. I would have you on the stream, but I don't. I'm feeling too lazy right now to actually call you up and connect, and I'd have to use my other one, which I just set up this one because I don't have NDI on this one. So I could have you vocally on. I just wouldn't be able to put your picture in the stream. Would I be able to? Don't think I would. Maybe I could. I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it right now. But, yeah, so what a crazy week it's been, huh? From the, old Jeffrey Epstein stuff that happened, right, to the social media summit, to the census nonsense. So, Rational, can you hear my guitar? Can you hear that? You should be able to hear that. Is a vocal like if I was to sing something like Rational Wrong Think is the only one that's in the stream. I don't know if what exactly that means, but I will play along because I'm here, it's true. I'm waiting for your 30-second delay because you're on the backside of the world to tell me if that mix is okay in the world of YouTube. Mix is great, mate. Oh, sweet. Yeah, because I plugged it into my mixer, the guitar this time. So I wanted to actually maybe even just play around. We'll see who comes in here. If it's just you and me, let's write a song, dude. I thought we could start doing community song writes too, like where we just kind of put some song ideas together. I want to write an original tune, and I thought I wanted to write one about Antifa, another one about Antifa, maybe about the actual culture thing. It doesn't have to be a total joke song like my Antifa one was and everything. It could be more of a serious type song, a little serious. I was playing around with some chording the other day that I thought was kind of cool. I had to step out for a second. I heard you try to serenade me. You're scaring me, bro. I know. I'm trying to think here. How did it go? I was messing around with one. I was messing around with a song idea the other day, or some chording. I think it went. Oh, that's how it was. No, I don't know if that was it. My guitar skills are really rusty right now because I used to play all the time. You're doing a drony note in there somewhere. I am kind of. You're right. Well, that's kind of like a C, a version of C. Then I slide it up. Then that's to an A. Then I went to an E. There was the E note. E minor, but who's counting? I don't know though. I want to write a song, and I've never done a actual. I don't write well. Typically, I don't write well with other people because I have to like think about stuff for a long time. About how I want it to go. I wonder if I adjust my camera if I'm going to get my back. Yeah, I get that in there when I adjust it that way. Anyway, how's it? What to say about what to say about what we can, what we sing. No. That's dumb. Oh man, I'm up to 5 viewers and I'm totally screwing up on stuff here. Whoa. What's going on, people? We don't know what we're doing here tonight. If you just joined us, I thought I would talk a little bit about Jeffrey Epstein and the consensus, non-census. I gave away for your green face. I looked up a video of someone that did the green face with the green screen. It looked freaking funny. She put her mouth on other people's faces. Okay, Mark. I will do the green. I keep forgetting you want the green face. I will do the green face one of these days. I think what I'm going to have to do is just find a green mask, like a green ski mask. But I will do that. Maybe it'll be in one of my next little music videos. I say that lightly. Like kind of what I did with the Antifa stuff, you know? Maybe I'll do that. Maybe we'll do that. We need, what should we write a song about? I want to write a song, man. I used to write politically, but life got in the way. We can just let's just brainstorm ideas, man. Like, you guys like, is that groovy or no? Wait a second. Probably work with that a little bit. See how that one would play out. I like, here's a couple opening lines potentially. Little girl from down Portland way, proud child of the US of A. That would be a song about going to uni doing porn, joining Antifa, becoming hate-filled. A little girl from down in Portland way. We could do, maybe. A little, there we go. Little girl from down in Portland way. Proud child of the USA. Yeah, hang on, maybe. Little girl from down Portland way. Proud child of the, okay. So I want to not have to read it when I'm singing it. So little girl from down Portland. Little girl, let's see. Little girl down from Portland way. Proud child of the USA. Two guitars and can't play anything left. Maybe I should. So it goes. Or yeah, if you're not playing them, dude, just send them to me, Mark. I'll play them for you. It's never too late to learn either. Little girl down from, little girl down from Portland. How'd you say that? Little girl from down Portland way. Okay. Little girl down from Portland way. Proud child of the USA. Spent on. She was straight, but now she's gay. She was straight, and now she's gay. I don't know. I don't know if that's the song I wanted to talk about, man. But that's not a bad line. Little girl down from Portland way. A proud child of the USA. She used to run with Antifa, even though we all know they're really gay. But that's that's what they say. It's okay to be gay if you're in Portland way. They're really lame. There we go. That we could throw "they're really lame" in there too. Okay. Little girl down from Portland way, a proud child of the USA. Say USA. They think they're so woke, but they're damn lame. Okay, let me think on that for a minute. So this whole Jeffrey Epstein thing, man. Here's what is killing me. Everyone is pitching their fits, right, about Trump and about Acosta having to resign because he helped this guy with a plea deal back in the day. But, man, there was just a blurb. It's just the only people keeping it alive, which is obviously what we would know is going to happen, right? The only people keeping the whole Bill Clinton thing alive are the conservatives. No one else seems to be raising their voice about the fact that Bill Clinton was on this damn plane 26 different times and went to those islands God knows how many times, and was with, Bill Clinton's excuses is he was with his security detail the whole time. Well, okay. The same security detail that covered for your ass when Hillary was coming, when you had whores and prostitutes and mistresses that you were banging away at. Is that the same security detail we're talking about that's supposed to vouch for you, Mister? You never had sex with that woman. Why is nobody really talking about that? Maybe that's what we should write the song about. Epstein, this whole Lolita Express deal, yo. A rich guy who had a couple planes, even had an island where he... Yeah, maybe that's what we need. Everyone listened throughout the day points out 26 times Bill went out there. Everyone I listened to throughout the day points out the 26 times Bill went out there. Yeah, but you're listening to a lot of conservatives. There's really not any, I haven't heard many, maybe I haven't been listening to them, but how many people on the left have been saying that? Can you imagine the same people that have been screaming about Acosta having to resign right? Those are the people I'm talking about that aren't saying jack shit about it. So yeah, the conservative voices for sure, they're keeping that. Did you guys see what Mike Cernovich did? Mike Cernovich jumped on the mic today and was like, Bill Clinton's a rapist. Juanita Broaddrick, he raped Juanita Broaddrick. That was classic. And then he just got gang piled by all these people hating on Trump and immigration and whatnot. And they just shouted him off the mic and assaulted him and were bullying him off of there when he was saying that. But that's what I'm talking about. They really care about all this rape stuff going on. They really care about, they don't care about rape. None of these leftists care about all that stuff. If they cared about it, they wouldn't care that Bill Clinton did it. Bill Clinton raped Anita Broaddrick, right? And then Bill Clinton was on this Lolita Express 26 different times, man. That should be all it takes. That should be all it takes just to have him just roasted up. But maybe that's what we should write the song about. Jeffrey Epstein. So, big billionaire with a big old... Wait a second. Rich guy with a big old plane. Tux and a... okay. Rich guy with a big old plane. Free Willy rode with him. Hang on a second. Free Willy rode with him. But he's not to blame, maybe. Encountered Bill and Jeff one day. They asked her if she'd like to play. She said no. No. She said, no, you can suck each other, you sick... you sick figs. I don't know if those lyrics work, but we can try it. Encounter Bill and Jeff on one day. They asked if she'd like to come and play. She said, no, you can suck each other, you sick figs. The left are fine with all that unless conservatives or Republican does it. Then they go crazy out of their minds. Oh, that was just a comment, right? Your comment was put to song. Yeah, I don't know. But no, seriously, that just totally just is so crazy to me. It's going to be really interesting to see how many more people come out of that whole dealio. It'd be interesting. I mean, I think Trump is going to stay clear of it, hopefully. But if he did do it and it comes out, it is what it is. But I don't think that one would happen. He actually kicked. The story goes he kicked old Epstein out of his resort because he tried propositioning an underage girl with the fig line though. You could throw it in off time 5-4 final line or something. Yeah. But so I think Trump's going to stay clear of any. But see, I don't have enough faith in the system of that swamp and the big money. Even though Cernovich and these other people brought it out, and Epstein's gonna. If there's too many people connected, too many bigwigs connected to this whole deal, we won't see it. I don't think we'll see it. God, I wish we would. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to think I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong. We won't see it. Nobody's gonna see it. Nobody's gonna hear about it. It's not gonna happen. I don't think. Like with them actually being able to. I don't know. We'll see, man. Believe the plan, right? Is that what Q would say? Believe in the plan. I don't know what I think about Q either, to be honest with you. This summit thing was interesting too. How the left. I was watching some stuff Tim Pool put out on it, and then also what Mark Dice. I watched a little bit of his live stream, and there's two black dudes, Brandon Tatum. I listened to him too, and I felt like some of it was for show, but at least they're trying to do something about it. At least they're trying to get it in. We'll see if any real legislation comes out, Says it's a song with potential, although I'd probably change the last line to get rid of all the line rhyme thing. I think Q is possibly someone close to Trump, but I think it's a bit of a troll. So, so you don't think everything should rhyme, huh? It doesn't necessarily have to. You're right. Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and you know that guy got a big old plane, a big old plane. He likes those girls. He likes girls. Kind of like, always again. He likes the females. Don't care about their noise again. Jeffrey Epstein. Here you go. Jeffrey Epstein. Big fuck stain. He loves little girls like R. Kelly, they're just the same. That's a doable line. That's a doable. I'll probably have to take out the Epstein thing, but Jeffrey Epstein has a big old plane. He likes little girls like R. Kelly, they're just the same. Okay, that's a doable line. What do you guys think about that line? Okay, hang on. I'm going to play that. You guys have heard it. I'm glad it's Jeffrey Epstein is his name. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein is his name. He likes little girls like R. Kelly. They're just the same. Lolita is... Oh, yeah, Jeffrey. There, that's good. You know Jeffrey Epstein is his name. Bum, ba-dum. He loves... And he loves to fly in. Wait a second. And Lolita. Jeffrey Epstein is his name. And Lolita is the plane. Jeffrey Epstein is his name. And Lolita is the plane. We gotta throw R. Kelly in there though. And Billy Clinton loves that game. Oh yeah. Okay. Bill. He gave my name. So. He gives money. No, sorry. So, Jeffrey Epstein is his name. And Lolita's the plane. No, sorry, I don't like the way that goes. Jeffrey Epstein is his name. And Lolita, you know it is his big old plane. Billy Clinton, good friends with Billy Clinton, rode that express. We could do Billy Clinton rode that express with Tatiana up in the 30, up in the mile, the mile high. Billy Clinton rode that express roughly 26 times. He gave his best. I don't know. How do we go with that? Jeffrey Epstein is his name. And Lolita, you know it is his big old plane. And Billy Clinton rode that. Billy Clinton took that express to his island to play around in his underage nest. Maybe to play around in that underage nest. Is that your childhood? Billy Clinton like those games, like R. Kelly such. He set your childhood aflame. Okay, that's a good line, dude. Yes, set your childhood aflame. Okay, I like it. I like it. I like it. Okay, Billy. Okay, Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and Lolita is his big old flippin' plane. Billy Clinton like those games, and like R. Kelly, he'll set your childhood aflame. Okay, yeah, then be chorus. Lolita. I don't know what the words are going to be, but the chorus could be musically wise. Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and the Lolita is a bill, is his. Oh yes, sorry. And Lolita is his, and the Lolita Express is his. Or you could even is his plane. You could do is his plane, or and the Lolita Express, and the Lolita Express is where they'd like to play their games, and it was where he liked to play his games. No, because we're gonna use games on the next one. Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and Lolita is his big plane. Billy Clinton loved those games, and like R. Kelly, he'll set your childhood aflame. 10 years ago his money got him out. We could say something like 10 years ago. I don't know if this is appropriate, but 10 years ago his money got him. Oh. You could do 10 years ago his money got him off. Boom, boom. Like the little girls he. That might be too much, though. Kind of go at that to try to trivialize that, like the little girls that. I don't know. I'm live too, and people are hearing me brainstorm this. Where every fantasy's expressed. Lolita, Lolita Express. Lolita, oh Lolita, Lolita Express. To the island where every fantasy's expressed. Try the pre-chorus. Oh Lolita, Lolita. So what do you mean like a pre-chorus? So a pre-chorus would be. Oh Lolita, Lolita. Billy Clinton loved those games, and like R. Kelly, he set your little childhood aflame. Lolita, Lolita Express. No, hang on. Lolita as a pre-chorus or as a chorus. So. Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and the Lolita is his big old plane. Billy Clinton loved his games, and like R. Kelly, he set your childhood aflame. I go, oh no, oh Lolita, no, oh Lolita, Lita, Lita, oh Lolita, Lolita, da da da. So you go, oh Lolita, express, oh Lolita, express. Some of these lyrics here. He keeps his blackmail evidence locked up in his safe. That's a good idea. Oh Lolita, oh Lolita, Lolita Express. So, Lolita Express, like that, you mean? So, for the pre-chorus, is this what you're thinking? Lolita, Lolita Express, oh, Lolita, that's closer to it. Lolita Express. Come right the Lolita Express. Lolita Express. Lolita Express. Oh, I got it. Lolita Express. Little girl, drop that dress. That might be a little over the top, but it kind of works. Lolita Express. Little girl, drop that dress. I'm dropping off viewers like flies right now because the song. Maybe we don't need a pre-chorus. Maybe that's more what I do for the chorus. Actually, is like Lolita Express, little girl, I like your pretty dress. Lolita. love it if I could caress. Yeah. The song's getting too creepy, though. It's so hard to write about a douchebag like this because you feel dirty. You're just singing the song. Thanks, man. Yeah, we'll have to work on that. 43 minutes, and I haven't done anything on the stream. No wonder nobody's stuck around here. So let's just sing what we got so far. So it goes, because we just, I think, picked up a new viewer. Don't go away, any viewer. I got 4 people watching. So this is the new Jeffrey Epstein song. Jeffrey Epstein is his name, and the Lolita is his big old plane. Billy Clinton, you know, loved his games. And like R. Kelly, to set your childhood aflame. Lolita, Lolita Express. Hey, Lolita, little girl, I love that dress. And then we go into the second verse. So we can kind of, you're right, do a pre-chorus, just kind of like a teaser chorus, right? And then we go back into another verse. In this island, he paid in, and he bought an island. He paid with cash. Nobody knows where he got it, 'cause he's a big dickhead. No, that doesn't work. I don't know. Change the lyrical structure of the rhyming thing. In hindsight, maybe I should have been in the live stream. Might have been a good one. Yeah, no, seriously. No, you have good lyrics, man. You have a good thought process on a lot of that stuff. I'm gonna put my guitar down for a second. My hands are hurting because I haven't been playing enough. Ah, shit. Pardon my French, but I just cracked my guitar into something. Hang on, I want to unplug that so my battery doesn't go dead in my guitar. I'll unplug it from here. That's cool though to know, because I wanted to start being able to. I'm redoing my studio. This is a very informal stream tonight, so I appreciate what's up, Rebel Jack? Yeah, we were totally jamming a bit. Good. We got 4 people in here. All right, let's get kind of into a stream here a little bit. Rebel Jack, I'm so glad to have you, man. We just are doing a very informal stream. You might have to run back, and if you weren't in here long enough, we were starting to write a song for Jeffrey Epstein. It's hard for me to write. If I'm sitting in a room with somebody, I can write with other people, but it's really hard through chat, and it's hard to write. I don't want to totally be a bore, people clicking in and out because we're not doing much. So I kind of want to, I want to kind of try to work that one out, plan that one out a little bit of how I'm going to work that. But I like the tune, and now I have it recorded so I won't forget it. But I like that. And we can, Jeffrey Epstein, is his name. No, Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, that's right. Is his name. Down, down. And the Lolita was his big old plane. And Billy Clinton, he loved those games. I love this line. And like R. Kelly, he'll set your childhood aflame. The Lolita, Lolita Express. Little girl, man, I really love that sundress. Yeah, that'd be I can already hear it in my head, man, with the drum beat stuff behind it. That is going to be the next one. We'll do ourselves a little original tune because then I can't get screwed for copyright. I will probably get in. You know what? I don't think I would get in trouble about making fun of him for there's too much Me Too, bad guy, Epstein, bad guy, to where I don't know if YouTube will even censor me for hate speech on that one because I think everyone pretty much hates that piece of crap. So I miss your start usually. My bad. It's all good, man. I didn't even think I was coming on tonight, Rebel Jack. I'll have to get back and watch this one. But yeah, no, you go. You'll have to skip around. Probably go back 10, 15 minutes before you even joined us. So like 30 minutes in. The first part of it is just kind of, not that. Yeah. But you'll probably have the feds knock on your door. Yeah, I might. Or Killary. Spoofs are covered under copyright. What spoofs? What do you mean spoofs are covered under copyright? What do you mean there, Rebel Jack? I'd like to know more about that. Spoofs are covered under copyright. So if I'm spoofing a song, right? If I'm spoofing a regular song. But if I'm making the song, right? If I'm actually creating the song, I think that I think I'm clear. How the frick are they going to try to copyright me on a song I created? Unless I'm trying to rip off maybe a tune of something, but that's completely original. Technically, a parody is covered by fair use. Right, technically. In a normal world, you're right, Rational. A parody would be covered by fair use, but we're not in a normal world anymore. We're in the upside down world. You guys watch. I know Rational doesn't. Sorry, I was getting my nicotine packet in the right part of my mouth. I know Rational doesn't, but do you guys watch Netflix, Stranger Things? Rational doesn't because he's cooler than all of us. He doesn't let his mind rot by watching TV stuff. But we're living in the upside down world, like what's in, like Stranger Things, man. It is, our world is just going to a shitstorm in a basket, man. I'm going to type in news here. There was a few different things I thought we would just kind of touch on, but the census, man, the census thing. I know we all love Trump in here. I know we're all Trump supporters. But man, I just feel like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it was a bitch move a little bit on not putting it on the census on the actual, or the citizenship question on the census. Not a bitch move. I don't want to call him that. I don't want to say that about him, but capitulation, something. I know he's saying he's doing the executive action. He's just going to get all that information anyways. But I still feel like, man, he should have just put his foot down in I don't know. It's totally in his purview, right? That is in his purview to do that. He could have done that. I don't know. I feel frustrated about that a little bit, but I guess he's going to try to find it out anyways, but it's so transparent, man. If it was never transparent before, it's transparent now. What the left has tried to do with the whole immigration thing. Pence visits migrant detention facility and calls on Congress to act. AOC tears into Trump for manufactured border crisis at emotional hearing on migrant detention. Is AOC still trying to say that it's a manufactured crisis? What? AOC? You silly girl. You silly girl. I'm disappointed Trump didn't mention Tommy too. I am disappointed about that also, man. I'm really disappointed. Yeah, I could go super old too. I'm trying to answer a couple different texts. Here says Rebel Jack said, like same music but new lyrics, but otherwise you need to make sure no original riffs or beats are similar. So spoofs, parodies are the best route. Yeah, no, I mean, there's no way they could hit me on one of my little riffs or something, because unless I was like, it was a total, but which I wouldn't do. When I write original stuff, I just write them original. I mean, nobody, if you want to get technical, no song, no chord progression is original. All of them are in some way, shape, or form. Hell, I mean, just about all of Tom Petty songs are 3 chords. I mean, that's just about it. And most songs are that way too. Most popular songs, just a few chords, unless we're talking Dave Matthews. Then if you go to a Dave Matthews type tune, it's like all over the board. Just it's crazy the crap they do. But anyways, I digress. Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Not a little. I was a lot disappointed. Trump or somebody in his administration didn't say something for Tommy. That was like, yeah, exactly. I was hoping he was going to bring it up maybe in the summit or whatever, showed that Tommy is a Zionist, so they don't like him. Yeah, of course. I mean, and they don't like Tommy because he speaks the truth, man. He speaks the truth unapologetically. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Dave's stuff's all over the place. He plays some really complicated stuff. Love his stuff, and he's one of the best jam bands around. We're bouncing all. ADHD is on full alert today. According to Rebel, I'm trying to keep up with all the text too. You're right. Dave Matthews, man, his music is like, people give him a bad name and all that, because anytime you're that big for a long time and then people get burned out on you and they give you a bad name. But I went to a couple of his concerts, and man, he puts on an awesome show, and they're all so talented. So love Dave Matthews. On the Tommy Robinson stuff, he was not, Tommy Robinson, the whole deal with that was they hate him because he's speaking the truth, and he's not going to be censored and back down. And so they hate that about him, and they hate that he's got a following, and he throws a big curveball into the narrative, just like what is happening with our censorship. And like Tim Pool has talked about, how the mainstream media right now, the reason they hate independent content creators and stuff is because they're the old guard, the old school that has not gotten with the new, use technology to their advantage, and they are controlled by the big money, and nobody's lit. Their viewership is dwindling because they've been proven to be fake so many times. Just like the whole scuffle that happened with Gorka right at the summit, and it gets spun by the left. The Gorka started all that, and Gorka was calling him out, and Gorka was making this problem. I forget the other guy's name. Reamer or Remy, or I don't know what his name was. And then he threatens Gorka to step outside, basically. And Gorka, just tells him that he's what did he say? He was, I can't remember what he said. He was said basically he's a joke. And then he, this other leftist mainstream media guy, basically, and I think he works for a porn magazine, if I'm not mistaken, but he calls him out and says, you guys are all demon possessed, which is rich coming from a guy who works in the porn industry, right? That's interesting to me. Yeah, so it's sad that he didn't mention that whole thing in the summit, and it's really, I'm worried for Tommy. I'm really worried for Tommy. I mean, called him a punk. That's right. Yeah, he said he was a punk. Yeah, that's right. Facebook is how I keep in contact with friends and family. I took offense because I really am a punk. If it wasn't for that, I would delete my... Yeah, you know what? I have not posted anything on Facebook for a very long... I take that back. I automatically post to Facebook. Anytime I put a new video up, it automatically gets put to my Facebook page. I don't share it on my main Facebook page just because there's too many people on there that some of my content would offend. Not offend politically, but maybe with my language and stuff, because I have some, religious people that... No, I wouldn't say religious, but just that, I don't know. They would just probably not really appreciate it. And I didn't want to flood my mainstream with that, but or my main feed, but I don't use Facebook at all. I go on there maybe once a week, maybe once a week. And the only time I ever post stuff on my Facebook page is like funny memes and whatnot, which is funny because I can post a funny meme that's just, like F sensitivity meme, one of those, just nonsense memes about something that's funny. And I'll get 20, 30, 40 people that like it and laugh or respond to it. I post one of my videos up there and I don't get anybody to see it. Nobody sees it. It'll be up there for hours and maybe I'll get one like. Because Facebook knows, the algorithm knows that I'm conservative. Whatever they know, however they know what they know. And because they know everything, and they shadow ban it. It doesn't matter. I only have a couple hundred, 300-400 people on my Facebook page that but I don't use it anymore is my whole thing. And I put it, they automatically go up to my Facebook page. It has 50 people that like it. If you guys want to go to my Facebook page, you can like it, but you get the same content here. I don't post anything else there. They just automatically go up there. Facebook sucks. Zuckerberg is such a dweeb. I just don't even like him. I think the UK government want Tommy Robinson dead, but I'm not sure they can afford to let him die. There's a lot of anger now in the background, and it could be the kickoff point. I think it absolutely could be, and I think it absolutely will be if that's what happens. Real punk are really pissed at fake punks. Yeah, that's true. When I share something that liberals would probably report me for, now I only share it with friends, not the public. Oh, by the way, what's his name? His name was Daniel Hecht. So do you guys remember that video I did? If not, go back on my page. You can find it. It's from 3 months ago, maybe. I did a video on the police chief who just got hired at Holyoke University, and some of the social justice warriors went on when he got hired. Went on to his old Facebook and they checked out his Facebook tweets, his Facebook page, and saw that he liked a comment Trump made on building the wall, and it said build that wall, and he liked it. He liked that comment, or maybe he made that comment to Trump, build the wall. Because of that one comment on his personal Facebook page, the social justice warriors dug into it. And he got hired, and then a couple weeks later, or a week later, he was put on administrative leave. Yeah, you remember that? Okay, he got put on administrative leave because of that. And long story short, it's in the public domain, so I can share this with you. It got basically settled out of court. So he lost his job, but they settled it. And so anyways, he had reached out to me on Facebook. Out of the blue, I get this message one time on Facebook, speaking of Facebook, and this guy said, hey, SJG, thank you for covering my story. And I was like, oh, who is this guy? And I kind of said one comment in there when he capitulated to the left a little bit and apologized for that. I was like, oh man, I lost some respect for this guy. Before I knew him, before anything, he reached out to me. I just made a passing comment in my video about that. Because I don't think we should capitulate on stuff like that. We should just tell them to go where they can shove it. That's the only way. We need to start pushing the frick back on them. Push the frick back. Don't sit there and take this kind of this intimidation that comes from the social justice left, right? When they make some out of the digging for something that is, taken way out of context or blown way out of proportion, man, people need to push back on them and not capitulate and apologize to them. Anyways, he reached out to me. Long story short, what I'm trying to get at is he is going to be on the stream here in August. He's going to come on with me, and we're just going to talk about, he can't talk about the case, but we're just going to talk about political culture and whatnot and his thoughts on it. So that's going to be pretty cool. I'm still trying to also get Adam Kelly on. He's the dude who got his head split open at the Portland riots. I want to get on. I want to get him on my stream, and I want to get Joey Gibson on because he's said in the past he'll come on, but now he's getting kind of be a big wig and keeps blowing me off. So I don't know if I'll get him on here or not. But Joey, if you ever watch this, I'd like to have you on the stream. So there's that. But anyways, let's look at this for a second while we're just talking here. It says AOC tears into Trump. Tears into Trump? Maybe she tears into Trump, but she tore into Trump. for manufactured border crisis at the emotional hearing on migrant detention. I thought everybody was on page now that this is not a that you guys aren't seeing what I'm seeing here. Sorry. I thought we were all on page that this is not a manufactured crisis any longer. I thought we were all on page about that, people. It is not a manufactured crisis. Even the leftists came out. Before it was a manufactured crisis, before all these thousands upon thousands were heading up here in caravans, it was all a made-up crisis. Then when the cameras are on the border and everybody sees what's happening on the border and what's coming across and how we can't house these people, all of a sudden then the left said it's a crisis on the border and it's Trump's fault, and then they're being held in detention or concentration camps. They're being held in some of these facilities while they're figuring out what to do with them. And then the left tears into Trump because he is not taking good enough care of them. Meanwhile, Trump was the one telling them not to come while the Democrats were encouraging them to come. Meanwhile, when they come up, Trump's saying, okay, we have all these people. We need some money for the border so we can take care of these people. They don't give it to them. Then when the cameras get on there, they say, how can these people be held in such terrible conditions? It's so, Trump, how could you do this? It's literally seriously idiocracy, the way how dumb people are that buy this stuff, that don't dig into the facts and buy this stuff. But apparently now AOC's tearing into Trump for a manufactured border crisis. How does anybody think it's a manufactured crisis anymore? It's been proven it's not a manufactured crisis. It's an actual crisis. Oh, God. AOC, go away. Oh, Aries, I'm so sad. I'm so sad. Let's hear what she has to say, that little twat has to say.
With the lowest 5-year cost to own in its
After we
class,
watch
Santa
this
Fe gives
Hyundai
savings for the
commercial.
long haul. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Now starting at just $25,750, you can drive home in a new Hyundai Santa Fe.
Yep.
Find your new Santa Fe at buyhyundai.com.
Car for a couple grand.
Good morning, Chairman Cummings, Ranking Member Jordan, and distinguished members of this committee. When I was asked to testify today, I frankly didn't know where to begin after our visit to the border. Much has been made about the fact that we have said that this is a manufactured crisis. Mm-hmm. And in many ways, it is manufactured in that it is wholly unnecessary.
Oh.
It is unnecessary to separate children from their families. It is unnecessary.
Is it unnecessary to separate children from their family when someone gets arrested here in the States? Now, not even a citizen. They break the law and cops take their kids away. What happens to the kids? Do they get separated, AOC? Is that unnecessary?
Necessary to have a policy to detain innocent women and families that have harmed no person and are legally seeking asylum in the United States of.
The asylum claim is way overplayed, guys. The asylum claim means when you are leaving a country, the first country you come to is where you seek asylum. You don't go through 2 or 3 countries to seek asylum in another country. That is all the cover story. That is, there's not this many asylum seekers coming in. And where are you, AOC, on the true asylum seekers like Tommy Robinson? Where are you left on the true asylum seekers that needed it? And Trump, for that matter. For the people who needed it or that are going to be killed in prison, that are going to be killed by the government that we're in bed with. Huh? Where are you at on that? Where are your tears for that, AOC? I didn't hear those on the Tommy Robinson situation. Where are your tears for him?
Of America. It is unnecessary to have a policy that calls children unaccompanied when they arrive with older brothers, sisters, and grandparents.
And 1/3 of them are fake through rapid DNA testing. They're not even families. They're being sold on the other side of the border to come across as family units because they know they will get treated and they can scam the rules and the laws by coming in as a family unit when they're not really even a family unit. Huh? And how do you keep these men, women, and children all in the same cages together, as you like to put them? In the same holding facilities, how do you keep them all in the same when they've been raped and pillaged the whole way up by coyotes and by these scumbags that are bringing them up here? Huh? How do you do that? Well, how is that a safe move, hashtag me too?
And treat them no differently than human traffickers. And in speaking of trafficking, it is completely unnecessary for this administration to choose to implement policies like metering and so-called remain in Mexico policies that dump innocent people in dangerous territories that puts them right in the crosshairs of human traffickers. Right.
So is that our fault? We're dumping them right in the crosshairs of the human traffickers, or are the human traffickers getting them and bringing them up here when we've said we want to try to stop this from even happening in the first place? She is so disingenuous. She is a lying bitch, is what this woman is. She is a see you next Tuesday of the highest orders.
Right for picking. This is a manufactured crisis because the cruelty is manufactured. We're
manufacturing the cruelty to them. We are. We're the ones who are manufacturing the cruelty to them by you guys are, the Democrats, by encouraging them to come up here in droves and just say you get a free pass into the country, by you saying that you helping out the immigration lawyers that train them on what to say and teach them on how to game the system with the asylum laws. This isn't asylum, by the way. They're not coming up. That's a boat. Those are the majority. I won't say all of them, but the high majority of those are complete bogus claims, and it's been proven time and time again.
This is a manufactured crisis because there is no need for us to do this.
To do what? To tell them not to come? You're right. There is no need to do that. To tell them to come up here? You're right. So once they're up here, what do you propose their AOC? What do you propose their Green New Deal? What do you propose their garbage compactor, sweetheart? What do you propose we do? Huh? What do you just let them all in? Just let them all in? We can't even take care of the people on our own streets. Our homeless are out of control. Our veterans and our own people with the opioid crises, which also many of these people that are bringing these people in are also tied in with that whole fiasco with the fentanyl and everything else. Don't believe me? Watch some of the documentaries on them. A ton of this fentanyl that's poisoning our own citizens is coming up from the borders, not just immigrants, right? Not just illegal immigrants that are coming through. But what do you propose we do then? We've been trying on the right. We've been trying as much as we can to say, whoa, slow your roll. We cannot assimilate all these people. We can't do this. But this turd, this lying, disingenuous turd, thinks that she can spin this around and make it all Trump's fault. When they encouraged it and they created it, it blows my mind.
No need for us to overcrowd and to detain and under-resource. There is no need for us to arrest innocent people and treat them no differently than criminals when they are pursuing their basic human rights. Much has been made about...
Treat them like criminals? I'm sorry. We're not treating them like criminals, number one. But they are criminals when they come here illegally. You are a criminal when you come here illegally. We're not treating them like the criminals. A lot of them are. And there's a lot of actual criminals coming up. A lot of actual really bad people coming up. And why we want a border is so we can control how many people flood in. Nobody thinks it's going to stop. Border wall is going to stop 100% of seepage or penetration. No pun intended, Bill. But it is going to slow the roll so we can manage it. What we're saying is we're not against immigration. We're against uncontrolled immigration. We're controlled, unmitigated immigration. What we're saying is we need to have a certain amount of people coming in a year that our country can sustain and can handle, and we want to know who's coming in, and we want to make sure they really are asylum seekers. I agree that we need to get these laws created and be able to get our process a little more streamlined, which the left, which the Democrats want to completely and totally get in the way of all the time, and the right. It's not just a single partisan issue. It's also the right that's done it, because for the longest time, Republicans and conservatives, these business owners and whatnot wanted to free slave labor. So they weren't really pushing for these borders. That's why 5 years ago, the Democrats were saying we need to. The same party that she's part of, the same that Bill Clinton's, the Nancy Pelosi's, the Chuck Schumer's of the world, all of the Dianne Feinstein's, all of these wanted to lock up the border, wanted to slow the border before we had even anywhere close to what we have the problem now. They wanted to slow it down then, but nobody. But then at that time, Republicans weren't on board to do it. And this is where Trump does show that he's not really a Republican or a Democrat. He's like, you know what? This isn't good for America. And we need to slow this up because this is not helping anybody right now. This is not in a long-term solution or a good idea for us in the long term to just be letting anybody and everybody come on up here and come on in.
CBP agents in this hearing as well. And this is not their fault. And in some respects, in many respects, I agree. Because it is a policy of dehumanization implemented by this executive administration, laid at the feet of Stephen Miller, that create a tinderbox of violence and dehumanization where hurt people hurt people. I would like to seek unanimous consent to submit the records of the names of 17 women I met during my trip to the border.
Watch out for the microphone, brilliant.
I think one of the reasons and what has been spoken of is that there's two different universes, and it feels like we're speaking in two different worlds.
I will agree with it there. There is two different universes and worlds. And the universe you come from, you need to go back to. You need to go back to that world and that universe because there's one in reality, right? There's one in common sense, and then there's your world, AOC, and your ilk. There's your world and your ilk's world. We have the common sense one. We have the common sense, decent, wanting to follow laws world. That's the world that many of us are protesting we want to live in. Meanwhile, you're bringing in and you're seeding into our world your crazy little upside down world.
And one of the reasons for that, I believe, is because when we took our tour of the border, one of the first things that we were told was that we were not allowed to speak to the migrants, that we were not allowed to have contact with them, that we shouldn't. And this was given for reasons of, quote, their safety or for the expediency of the tour. And after we entered and after we were asked to...
And it's probably also because they don't want you spreading your crazy BS into them either. And your photo ops and your BS publicity stunt that you tried to pull by going down there.
To surrender our cell phones. At the beginning of the tour, we went in, and one of the CBP officers, after that morning, it being revealed by ProPublica, which I would also seek unanimous consent to submit.
ProPublica, the farthest of the farthest left publication, the farthest of the farthest leftist media organization, ProPublica. Yeah, that's a very balanced. I'm sure that report's going to be really fair and balanced. That's going to be a very, middle of the road report.
To the record. While it was revealed by ProPublica, a secret Facebook group where CBP members were planning to harm or encouraging harm of myself and Congresswoman Escobar, as well as mocking the deaths of migrant children.
There was a few dirtbags on that Facebook page that did do some stuff that wasn't cool. But guess what? Here's the thing we got to understand. There is bad apples in every single cart. And one or two people making some stupid ass comments, you cannot put all CBP officers into that characterization or into that bucket, if you will. You cannot do that. That's very, very disingenuous for you to say, AOC. And a lot of what she's saying is also lies about the harms and the threats against AOC that they wanted to do. And that was proven by that isn't being covered in any of this by the officers pulling up and saying that never happened. None of these threats against AOC ever happened. That's bullshit.
Into that environment, we walked into this facility. We were asked to surrender our phones and be
you already
guarded
said that.
by the people without a guarantee that no one there was in that Facebook group. We went in and one of the officers attempted to sneak a photograph of myself and other congressional members. And at that point, we asked...
What is that? So let's say that they did do that. I don't believe they did because I don't believe a word that comes out of this lion, what's mouth. But even if they did, as if they don't know who you are, I mean, they try to sneak a picture of you. Do you think they don't know who you are or what you look like, AOC? What is the point of them sneaking a picture of you? What is the point of that?
To enter one of the cells. We were allowed to speak to the women And these are the women that we spoke to.
Oh, I'm sure that they weren't coached, and I'm sure that they weren't hand selected, and I'm sure that this is a very, very honest, honest representation of what all those people think and say.
It's their handwriting. And while we are being asked to speak only to officers, we are not getting the accounts of migrants, of their treatment, of what they are experiencing. And so when these women tell me that they were put into a cell and that their sink was not working, and we tested the sink ourselves and the sink was not working, and they were...
Wait a minute, the sink wasn't working? Oh, she's probably going to say, and they were drinking out of the toilet.
Were told to drink out of a toilet bowl. I believed them.
Okay, so this is what they told you, and we're supposed to believe you because you're such an honest person, AOC, and you've never lied about anything before, and you've never stretched the truth, and you're not even a paid actress in this Congress gig, right? You didn't try out for this part to be the face of the progressive whatever movement, right? Of the young far progressive movement. You weren't paid to do that, right? You didn't try out for this part. We're gonna take your word for it that they didn't have running water and that those CBD people told them to drink out of the toilet, right? We're gonna take. Well, here's the thing. I don't believe you. I'm just gonna put it out like that. I don't believe a goddamn word that's coming out of your stupid mouth.
I believe these women.
Well, we don't believe you.
The canker sores that I saw in their mouths because they were only allowed to be fed unnutritious food. I believe them when they said they were...
Unnutritious food and the canker sores in their mouth. She inspected their mouths. Right? And it's the canker sores of the food that they were given. What kind of food were they given when they were being rushed up or being snuck up here by the coyotes or by the human traffickers or being raped? Who's to say those weren't canker sores, but the gift that keeps giving, the herp? Who knows what was in their mouth? And again, you have no credibility, AOC. You are a liar. You lie. We know you're lying when your lips are moving.
Sleeping on concrete floors for 2 months.
I wonder if concrete floors are better than the desert with scorpions and dirt and who knows what coyote is trying to mount you.
Believe them. And what was worse about this, Mr. Chairman, was the fact that there were American flags hanging all over these facilities, that children were being separated from their parents in front of an American flag, that women were being called these names under an American flag.
It seems like they could have got a better actress. She tried out for the part and she got it, but it just seems like, man, they could have got a better one. Am I the only one thinking that? I mean, don't you think they could have got a better actress than AOC for this? Am I alone in that thought? Because she's terrible. She's terrible.
We cannot allow for this.
Miss, since I interrupted you, I'll give you 30. We'll give you a minute to wrap it up.
Thank
please.
you, Mr. Chair, and I know my time was wrapping up at that time, so
I was just trying to work the tears
and
out.
again, we have to make sure that, and over again, when we spoke to these folks, whether it was agents, whether it was HHS officials, oftentimes they said the thing that we need most is not resources, we need policy change.
Agreed. We do need policy change, AOC. We need to change the policy. We need to put up a border fence. We need to put in order the right amount of people that can come in at one time so we can screen them. And we need to quit sending them the signal from your partisan group and your partisan side that they should flood up here from all over the place. You're right. We should. You're absolutely right. We should. Hey, Robert, I didn't see you were in here, man. Oh, man, I didn't see him. And then funny that now the Dems care about private tax by government employees. Where were they in the Strucken page? Yeah, that's a good. Oh man, he had to jump out, but that's too bad. I should have noticed he was in here. Props to Robert when you hear this, if you watch it back.
So we need to change our metering policies. We need to change our detention policies. We need to change our policies on who we call unaccompanied. And that is one of the key areas, in addition to changing our policy on foreign affairs, on investment, on being an equal partner in Latin America and the Western Hemisphere. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And those policies we want to change are socialist policies. We want to pay for everybody and anything. We want to give money to the South America as if we haven't already given them any money, right? It's like we don't give money to South America then. We don't give money to Guatemala or El Salvador. We don't help them out with money. We haven't done that. Or to Mexico. We don't do that. AOC. God, what a freaking... And you, Rational, you know the sad part about this whole thing is you made fun of her and your channel gets taken down and your video gets taken down because she is the golden child. She is the golden child that cannot be made fun of. Nobody can make fun of old AOC. Nah, can't do that. Nope. Can't make fun of her. Nope. That's not okay. That's not okay. Oh, man. I think we need to ask the wheel. I'm going to ask the wheel here. Hang on a second. Time to ask the wheel, guys. Free everything. What's up, Chip? Glad to have you. So, Wheel, tell us, Wheel. What was it? Everything AOC just said, Wheel. How do you feel about that? Come on, utter bullshit. Come on, utter bullshit. Boop, the wheel doesn't lie. The wheel doesn't lie. That's what the wheel feels about when it comes to AOC. Utter BS. Utter BS. I didn't say it, guys. It's not my fault. You can't get mad at me. I didn't say it. The wheel said it. The wheel said it. The wheel said it. Yep, the wheel said it. That's what I think about that. So it looks like Jeffrey Epstein paid $300. Old Jeffrey Epstein paid $350,000 to a possible witness against him. Prosecutors say Jeffrey Epstein, paid $350,000 to possible. Wow. Oh man, I'm not gonna pay. Keep reading free count or continue. No, keep reading the times of creating a free count or logging. I am not logging in to or setting up an account with you. There's other people that have this. I will go to Fox because they let me do a free New York Times. You stupid freaking liberal ass paper. Jeffrey Epstein paid 350 G's. That's a better title anyways. To a potential witnesses in sex trafficking case, prosecutors say. Wow, let's listen to this.
My name's Kevin Hoffman. I'm the parts director of Wilsonville Toyota.
Sorry, guys.
Make sure that we have the right parts in stock so that we can fix customers' cars the day they show up in your repair shop. My favorite part of my job is working with the customers when they get to accessorize a brand new car they bought. They're excited. I'm excited.
I bet you are excited. You get to sell them new wheels.
When you put a wheel on a car, it's for the look, but you also have to put a wheel on so you can fit the bigger tire when you lift it. There's always a right formula to make everything work together. We care about our customers. We're honest. We're ethical. We always do the right thing.
Good.
And that's no bull.
Great. Deep hidden secrets surrounding Jeffrey Epstein continue to rise to the surface. I'll read this in a better voice. One of Epstein's former employees claims he kept a mysterious safe on his island. Media and law enforcement began to focus on the 66-year-old Little St. James Island in St. Thomas. Speaking to Bloomberg, the former worker suggested a steel safe inside his office may have stored more than just cash. Former island staff members told the Associated Press they had signed long non-disclosure agreements and couldn't talk. The island is where at least one victim claims she participated in an ORGY. This same accuser says she saw former U.S. President Clinton on the island. Clinton's spokesperson has issued a statement saying he never visited there. Of course he does. Of course he did. Of course he did. But I thought we were supposed to believe all women. Time out a second. Time out. That's not okay because I thought that we were supposed to believe all women, right? And in this case, I do believe her that she saw him there. Financier Jeffrey Epstein paid $350,000 to two potential witnesses against him in his sex trafficking case. New York federal prosecutors alleged Friday in a bid to keep the 66-year-old behind bars until trial. According to prosecutors, Epstein's wired the money late last year, days after the Miami Herald published the first in a series of articles scrutinizing a plea agreement with Epstein, reached with federal prosecutors in 2008 that secretly wound down a sex abuse investigation involving at least 40 teenagers that could have landed him behind bars for life. Alexander Acosta, who approved the plea deal as the then U.S. Attorney for South Florida, resigned as Labor Secretary early Friday. I'll read it in a normal voice. I'm sorry. The government's filing, citing financial records, said that Epstein sent $100,000 on November 30th, 2018, to an individual named as a possible co-conspirator in the plea agreement. 3 days later, the filing says Epstein wired $250,000 to another individual named as a possible co-conspirator, and also identified as one of the defendant's employees. Interesting. This course of action, and in particular its timing, suggests that the defendant was attempting to further influence co-conspirators who might provide information against him in light of the recently re-emerging allegations, the prosecutor said. Epstein was arrested Saturday at Teterboro Airport in New Jersey as he arrived on a flight from Paris. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges, alleging he recruited and abused dozens of underage girls at his mansions in New York and Palm Beach, Florida in the early 2000s. His attorneys have said that the charges will not stick because Epstein is protected by the terms of the 2008 plea agreement. Under the terms of that plea, Epstein served 13 months in jail, was required to reach financial settlements with dozens of alleged victims, and register as a sex offender. What a crap hole plea deal that was, though. I do have to say, I don't think Acosta was necessarily involved in any of the sex with these girls, but the fact that he would, that does sit wrong with me. That does sit wrong with me. Maybe I need to think and read a little more on this, but that sits wrong with me that he would agree to that plea deal. Maybe his hands were tied. I don't know. Whatever. In their argument for bail Thursday, Epstein's lawyer argued in favor of the house arrest with electronic monitoring at his $77 million Manhattan mansion. Wow. Where prosecutors say some of the sexual activity took place. The defense argued that their client had long lived with the fear that federal prosecutors might pursue sexual abuse charges against him again, but had never sought to flee the country. So now the shit's really hitting the fan, and this dude gets let out on bail, as if he doesn't have the means to get the hell out of Dodge, especially if people are tied to him. I bet you he ends up committing suicide. I bet you he ends up committing suicide. I bet you that's what happens. I'm going to call that right now. We'll have to come back to it if I'm right. Prosecutors argued the house arrest proposal does nothing to mitigate his Epstein's flight risk. Each of the relevant factors to be considered as to a flight risk, the nature and circumstance of the offense, pretty bad, the strength of the evidence, pretty good, and the history and characteristics of the defendants, pretty bad, counsel strongly in favor of detention, the filing said. Prosecutors also said that several of Epstein's alleged victims supported his detention until trial. Prosecutors also said that several of Epstein's alleged victims supported his detention until trial, claiming that they feared harassment and abuse by the defendant. Earlier Friday, U.S. District Judge Richard Berman ruled that Epstein's lawyers could file documents related to his finances under seal, preventing them from being made public. Prosecutors had complained to Berman Thursday that the defense hadn't filed the paperwork, making it possible to meaningfully respond to their argument for bail. In Friday's filing, prosecutors said Epstein's net worth was more than $500 million and claimed that his token effort to account for his finances makes painfully clear the need for detention. Okay, good. So he wasn't let out. He was held on. That's pretty interesting, though. I just don't think this is going to really go. I think there's too many powerful people. This is the cynic in me. There's too many powerful people, man. There's just too many powerful people that know that could be tied to this. He's going to either end up committing suicide, wink, wink, nod, nod, or charges are going to get dropped, or he's going to get a slap on. He's going to get a little wiener, what's his face, slap on the wrist, wiener slap on the wrist. I don't know, but who knows? I don't know. Obviously, I've said that. Okay, guys, it's 11:30 here. This was just a really miscellaneous stream, But I do appreciate everybody that hung out with me for all this time. Let me read a couple of the chats before I get out of here. I'm going to go back up here. I missed Robert, man. I'm sorry, Robert. I missed you in here. So, Robert said earlier, man, I got to go way back up. Yep, the poor thing was scared of the garbage disposal, but to be fair to her, as a child growing up in the ghetto of Yorktown Heights, as a servant, took care of such mundane tasks for her. That's funny, Rational. The enemy did say they will send their terrorists with asylum seekers into our country. Border Patrol claim they catch about 1 out of 3 or 4 that cross illegally. Yeah, I don't doubt it at all. That's a good point, Mark. Robert, who's gone, said something that is often ignored. AOC and others say that illegals don't really break any law except crossing the border, but many commit identity theft upon entering, which is also a serious crime, among many others. But that's a true good thought there, Robert. Sorry I missed you. Rational said, Mark B., Saudi Arabia is illegally shipping people around the world to incite anti-Western sentiment. If not training jihadis, now more than ever, the West needs to secure the borders. Yeah, that's so true. Rational said, Robert Knorr, it's a bit like saying I'm not a murderer because I only killed one person, isn't it? Dumb argument. Probably the best they have. Yes, that's true. Yep. Mark said, I wonder why we are allies with Saudi Arabia. From my understanding, Muslims have been an enemy of this country since it began. Very good point, Mark. That's way too logical. Yeah, exactly right. It's all about the oil. Got to run. Good night, everybody. That was Robert. Missed him. AOC doubled over in an emotional trauma while looking at an empty car park. Was a real bro. She's a sensitive thing. Yeah, I know. Robert said, funny that the Dems care about private techs for government employees. Where was their care in their Strzok and Page texts? Yeah, isn't that the truth? Who's had more death threats, AOC or mini AOC? Great point, Rational. Right? AOC or mini AOC? Who's had more death threats? Right? Who's been doxxed and harmed more? I think we know the answer. Kind of rhetorical. They know that. I'm going to go down here. There's a balance required. You don't want to make holding facilities like a torture chamber or a holiday resort. Exactly. I was thinking her acting was not very good either. Yeah, it's because it's terrible. Free everything. Wouldn't that be nice? Chip said that. You need to make repercussions of being caught into a genuine deterrent against sneaking over the border. Absolutely. But no, we want to just put them in our sanctuary cities and give them a driver's license and let them vote, right? And we can't ask them if they're citizens. That'd be really mean and rude. You guys are way ahead of me here. I did a song for AOC, the Cow Farts. Yeah, it was parody. It smells like Teen Spirit. Smells like Cow Farts. YouTube banned it, but someone uploaded it on BitChute. It's pretty funny. Yeah, I need to put it on BitChute too. If you resend it to me, I think you did send it to me. I'll put it up on BitChute. Screw them. Tyler says, "What's it called? I love parodies." Oh yeah, sorry. Bill Clinton. I never had relations with that little girl on that island. Sounds legit. That's true. What about those chandeliers like Ghislaine Maxwell? According to reporting, Acosta said Epstein was above his pay grade and was an asset. According to reporting, Acosta said Epstein was above his pay grade and was an asset. Oh, was a CIA asset? I don't doubt it. He'll squeal and end up naming names. I don't know. I hope he does. Clinton's probably already has the suicide letter. Yeah, exactly. Where's Danny Williams? He better hurry with that paternity test. People linked to the Clintons have an amazing proclivity for suicide when they could implicate the Clinton clan. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Oh, Hillary and Bill, man. This is the only reason they are not locked up yet. A single car accident, another common event. Peeps that have dirt on the... Yeah, they get killed in car accidents, so on and so forth. Hilda Beast did say if she went down, she would take half of DC with her. Did she say that? Half would make a plea deal. Did she really say that? I never had sexual relations with that woman or her. Yeah, I hit that twice this morning. I thought you meant Hillary. That's funny, Tyler. That's funny. All right, guys. I'm going to head out, man. I've been in here for an hour and a half. I'm gonna watch the stream back later to remember how we played that song. But shoot me over some lyrics if you get them, Rational. Everybody, please subscribe to me on Parler. Please subscribe to me on Minds. Please follow me on BitChute. And please send me your email address through the email link on my About page of YouTube. On my About page of YouTube, there is a link for an email where you can just send me your email. And I want to try to get this, get up to, share my videos too. Maybe not this one because this one was a little chaotic. Find a video you like, share it out on your social media. Share it out on your Facebook, share it out on your Twitter, share it out on whatever you have. And let's try to get to like-minded people. I'd like to get my count up to 1,000 before the end of the year. I'm almost at 500, which I think is pretty decent for 8 months that I've been doing this. Really like to get to 1,000 before the end of the year, because then I can start taking some, get monetized. Then get monetized. That's funny with my channel. But I can, I have the ability for like super chats and I'll be able to live stream and so on and so forth. But I love you guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and I am going to get out of here now. And I might do a stream tomorrow. I won't be on the Drone Tech stream if any of you guys are going to watch that tomorrow because I have a wedding I'm doing. But I will be back on Sunday probably in the evening for something. But maybe have a little more structure, something to talk about. But all right. Anyways, without fear of animals for Rational because he's in here. But the real term is without fear or animus and without F&A. Without F&A, I'm thinking I'm going to put that on a shirt. Without F&A. Like F&A, man. Like, people would say, F&A, dude. That was back in my days. Like, F&A, man. Fucking ain't right, man. F&A. So it's without fear or animus. So without F&A, it's SJG Perspective. And I will see you when I see you. And that's about it. So you guys have a great night. We'll talk to you later. I'm out. Peace. That transition didn't work quite like I wanted it to. So we're going to try it again. Peace.